Hello, I'm Portia Young. Welcome to another edition of 1036 here on Milwaukee PBS. In this episode, meet Beatrice. She's receiving some very important training here in Milwaukee in order to serve others. And what does it take to create one of these? We'll meet some young pastry artists rolling out the dough in hopes of winning a scholarship. It is the season of giving, and a local developer is giving a special gift back to one Milwaukee neighborhood and church community. The story of St. Rita's has involved a whole lot of love, perpetual hope, and many goodbyes.
If these walls could talk. Hey, I remember you. You said in the third pew every single Sunday. I recall your tears when you held funerals for your loved ones here. Did you walk down this aisle on your wedding day?
An angel is always a messenger of God.
For those of us that went to work very early in the morning, when it was still dark out, that angel kind of guided us on our way in the morning or greeted us for the day.
All powerful and all merciful Father.
Parishioners and neighbors had several chances to say arrivederci to their beloved St. Rita's even before demolition began.
We're standing on sacred ground here.
Father Tim Kitsky, pastor of Three Holy Women Parish.
These people just have a love for tradition. They have a love for their faith. They have a love for things that are tangible, where as Roman Catholics, buildings are never just buildings.
St. Rita's held a special ceremony to lower the 1,500-pound iconic Archangel Gabriel down from the front of the church, the same angel that once stood on top of the Little Pink Church, and will eventually be part of the new St. Rita's.
So Gabriel is really loved in our tradition because he's always the announcer of good news. I bring you glad tidings.
And I hope that the people who are here, Lord willing, I'll be here, when it comes back and it goes back on to the St. Rita Church, I'd love to be here to witness that also.
Wow. It just goes down so quickly. There's definitely a deep sadness about all of it.
That sense of sadness seems to drift along this East Side Milwaukee neighborhood. While recess excitement from neighboring school children helps break up the melancholy mood. What once stood on the corner of Cass and Pleasant in Milwaukee, the aging St. Rita of Kasha Church, school, and convent, are no longer. St. Rita's has stood for Italian immigrants, tradition, and community. She stood for a faith-filled, loving family. She stood for countless memories.
I think it's great that the address is still up in the Mass Times.
Christine Conley knows all about the memories.
I've been a part of this parish my entire life.
Christine lives right down the block on Cass Street. She has captured every phase of St. Rita's transformation, including final demolition, and checks a flurry of text messages from family and friends. Oh, I'm going to miss her. I could cry. Still can't believe it. She's not the only one stopping to bid a final farewell to an old friend.
Everybody that's walked by, particularly those that have had a connection to the school, are all sad.
Well, this was St. Rita's grade school and church. It was a focal point for the neighborhood. And so it's, you know, it's kind of bittersweet. I don't know that it's sweet at all, actually, but it's a little sad, and a lot of memories here with friends that I still have.
But it's still sad to see this go, you know, especially because it represents those different milestones in your life.
It's hard not to be moved to know what has happened and how the parish community itself evolved to what it is today. It's an expression of love.
Jim Tarantino is the developer of what's to come on this site. St. Rita's Square, a 6-story senior housing campus with memory care, and a new St. Rita's church. He's attended Mass at St. Rita's over the years and says the love and devotion holding the original St. Rita's church together since the 1930s will never crumble. Yet physically, things are definitely changing on this corner.
I felt as though it's kind of my mission to give back, and that's what I'm trying to do. As a kid growing up, we were schooled that our culture and our religion are really intertwined.
I've been thinking and working about this for the last 19 years because I knew the limits of a structure built. And even this beautiful, venerable building is showing really palpable signs of decay. So what do people do when they face loss is they have to make plans for not just the takedown, but also what can we then vision.
Jim Tarantino says he received some inspiration on the vision for the new development while attending Mass at a basilica in Florence, Italy.
The trajectory of the sun hit the dome in a certain way that created a stream of light down to the altar. It's magnificent. And it just occurred to me that if we're at St. Rita's, if we're going to do something that protects as an expression of our culture for not only the past, but really more importantly into the future, we need to have sacred space. I feel a lot of pressure because I have a lot of my relatives watching what I'm doing and making sure that it's done right.
Done right, because St. Rita's history and its connection to Milwaukee's Italian heritage and this community remain undeniably important to so many.
My family emigrated from Sicily to the old, what was known as the Third Ward, and were very active. Both my mother and my father's family were very active members of Our Lady of Pompeii, and lived through the demolition of the church and really the fracturing of the Italian community.
Milwaukee's Italian immigrants gathered and prayed at the Blessed Virgin of Pompeii Church for more than 60 years. It became known as the Little Pink Church, after the outside cream city brick was painted pink, following a tradition of pastel-colored churches in rural Italy. The church became too little for all the parishioners. So St. Rita's Church in the Brady Street neighborhood became the Mission Church of Pompeii. In the late 1960s, a new highway took the place of the Little Pink Church. And St. Rita's eventually became part of Three Holy Women Parish. Much of that Italian tradition continued, and a growing number of new parishioners from diverse backgrounds eventually helped fill the pews.
Just to let you know, we didn't choose this gospel about the seed falling, being taken down, or Jesus being raised up just because we're taking down the church. It just happened, and I was like, this is great. This is Jesus talking to us.
We have taken great care to save the existing windows of the church, to save the frescoes, to save all the vestiges of St. Rita's. And in its simplicity, it's a place that's very welcoming, that welcomes all. So when you go to Mass there's a multi-generations, multi-racial, everybody's welcome. And so we're trying to recreate that space, that place. And so it's a mix of the old, and it's a mix of and it's part of the new.
We're looking forward to the time when the church will rise through the power of Christ's love, working through all of us, his holy people, so that we can keep this neighborhood alive and well.
Sad as this is, people are excited by the new church. They really are.
It was a giving place, St. Rita's, and now we have something there that's going to give to members of the community, which is fabulous.
So you think that door is symbolic?
The St. Rita Square developer arranged for interested parishioners to get one of these commemorative bricks from St. Rita's Church. And Father Tim created a bit of Christmas atmosphere back in August at the Angel Ceremony. You can check it all out at 1036 on MilwaukeePBS.org. Earlier this month, funeral services were held for former President George H.W. Bush. This is one of the many images we've probably all seen online or on television that we'll always remember. Sully the service dog paid his last respects to President Bush, whom he served for several months. Service dogs like Sully are certainly special, as is their training. We caught up with one dog and her trainers here in Milwaukee. Meet Beatrice.
Beatrice is doing very well. She's getting a lot of people asking questions about and petting her, and she's being very calm, no excitable greetings. She hasn't jumped on a single person. She's just sitting there very nicely and calmly. So she's doing what she's supposed to be doing, right, sweet girl? Yeah, she's good.
You could call Bill Cleveland an evangelist for the national program Canine Companions for Independence, because he is a puppy raiser.
We are volunteer puppy raisers, and we get the puppies when they're 8 weeks old. And we teach them 30 to 40 commands and basic socialization and obedience. So we teach them the commands, and then we take them out like this, and so you notice that she's not like jumping on people.
He and his wife Linda are volunteer puppy raisers, and 6-month-old little Beatrice is their 20th student.
We keep them for 18 months. When they're volunteer breeder caretakers that have their parents, and then they whelp them in their home, and then they keep them for the first 8 weeks. And then they ship them to us, and then we take them for the next 18 months, and then when they're in professional training, they're actually in kennels with other dogs.
Once a puppy is shipped to them from the headquarters in Ohio, they pay all the costs of food and care, and that could top $2,000. After her stay with the puppy raiser, the dog goes back to Ohio and the Canine Companions, where she will be trained as a service dog.
Beatrice, here. What a good girl.
Linda and Bill are the only people in Milwaukee raising puppies.
She said you're playing. Wait. Beatrice, release. Ooh, nice.
For the Canine Companions for Independence organization.
Shake. What a good girl. That's so good.
Everything they do with Beatrice, like going over the many commands she must learn before graduating to Service Dog Companion School, is training.
Beatrice, down. What a good girl he is. That's so sweet. Beatrice, here. What a good girl. Side, heel. What a good girl. Beatrice, side. That's a sweet puppy dog. What a good girl. Heel. That's a good girl. Stay. Here. What a good girl. Yes, you're being a good girl. Stay. Here. What a good girl. Yes, you are such a sweet puppy dog.
This Saturday afternoon, Beatrice was getting dressed to go out to a restaurant and a movie.
Where the nose goes, the dog goes. So the command is dress. Dress. What a good girl. Oh, yes. And then all you do is you take these pieces and you click it into place. Beatrice, ready? Sit. Dress. That's a good girl. We're putting her cape on so that we can go out, because we're going to go outside and we have to have her cape on so everybody knows that she's a service dog. So when we go into public places, they know that she's allowed there and that people won't just come up and think that she's somebody's pet, that she knows that she's a working dog. All right, Beatrice, let's go. All right, car. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. In the car. Hey, go get it. You can get it. Go on. That's a good girl. What a good girl. Good girl, Beatrice. You are such a good girl. You are such a sweet puppy dog.
A popular East Side Milwaukee restaurant welcomed Beatrice and her friends. It was crowded and noisy, but Beatrice knew just what to do. Go under the table and stay there quietly while the people ate lunch. So you don't order anything for Beatrice?
No, we feed her only at home. It's not a good habit for her to be eating out, because we don't want her to get in the habit of saying, oh, I'm going to go in a restaurant and I'm going to eat stuff off the floor. Right. In a movie theater, can you imagine, there's little bits of popcorn here and there?
She'd be eating everything. Right. So when you came in, she went right under the table. Yes. I don't think most people even know she's here.
That means we're doing our job.
That's how it should be.
It actually tickles us when we leave, we'll probably hear people just talking and they'll say, I didn't know there was a dog in here. And that's exactly the way it should be, because she should be quiet, extraordinarily well behaved, and just lie at our feet while we're eating.
Well, how did you get started in this?
I have always had an interest in service working dogs. My grandmother was legally blind and lived with us, and I'm a huge dog lover. So when I was little, I wanted my grandmother to get a guide dog.
What we do as puppy raisers is we teach the dogs between 30 and 40 commands and do basic socialization and obedience so that the dogs are very well trained by pet standards.
The first thing that we do is work on housebreaking and getting them just to be house manners, knowing their name, not jumping on people. But yeah, the very first thing is getting them to sleep through the night and housebreaking them.
When I first saw Beatrice, I saw pictures of her before I met her. But when I first met her, my thought was, how could you ever give her up?
It's much easier for me to give these dogs up when they're 1.5 years old and they're super healthy. But the thing I remind myself of is I love these dogs, but they're going to go to someone else who loves them just as much as I do. But not only do they love that dog, they're going to need that dog. And that's a big difference. I love her, but I don't need her. Someone out there needs Beatrice.
Beatrice could be trained to help someone who is wheelchair-bound or deaf or struggles with post-traumatic stress disorder. After lunch, they all got in line outside the Oriental Theater, where the movie this afternoon in the Milwaukee Film Festival was about training service dogs. It was called Pick of the Litter.
Oh, we got a dog in the audience today.
Thank you so much, Cindy. Come on, Bea. Let's go, sweet girl. Come on, Beatrice. We're so good. What a good girl. Come on, sweet girl. This is Beatrice. All right, Beatrice. Oh, that's so sweet. Off. Don't. Off. That's a good girl. What a good girl. Yes, you're a good girl. Oh, my goodness. Yes, you're so sweet.
Is she going to be a successful companion dog? What do you think?
Right now, she's got a lot of great qualities. We're hopeful. You just never know. You have high hopes and you hope that it works out. If it doesn't, they're gonna serve somebody in some way. Even if they become somebody's pet, they're gonna change their lives. All right, sweet girl, let's go.
The gingerbread house is one of the many symbols of the holiday season. There's a gingerbread tradition around here at Milwaukee Area Technical College that's made straight from scratch. It gets a lot of attention, and rightly so. 14 pastry art students put their creativity to the test and made their favorite gingerbread houses in hopes of winning a scholarship. 10thirtysix videographer Brian Ewig shows us some of their creative process.
This is gingerbread. And this is going to be put through the sheeter, which we will do to reduce the amount of rolling time, so we can take it through one way and then we tighten that pin. We'll bring it back the other way when we see that it needs just a touch more of flour. When we get it to here, we're going to take this to our bench and we're going to roll this out into our different shapes.
What stands out to me the most is the imagination of what the students see in their mind and how they bring it together.
My house is a 3-story San Francisco style gingerbread house. I went to San Francisco last summer and I got a lot of inspiration from the architecture there.
A church service. I have people in the pews, I have a pastor, and I have people even entering into the sanctuary.
It is a toy that my sister and I played with when we were little. It can be very nerve-wracking. You can't expect perfection because you'll make yourself crazy. So you have to be okay with the few things that go wrong and just move on from there.
While I was building the second level, I broke this piece in half right here. And so what I did is I covered it with this and just like hot glued it together.
It becomes very technical for the students, I feel, because it is a little bit of understanding, a little bit of architecture, because they have to understand sidewalls are going to need to be thicker, the wall needs to be thinner. Do we have support in there? How are we going to do it?
The toughest part would just be learning where everything goes and planning everything out before putting it together.
Please don't eat it. I spent so much time on it.
It's just unbelievable, the artistic ability that students have.
Even making a little people, it's really fun. Every time I make one, I just crack myself up because like I just made a person.
I wanted to express my creativity by doing this and learn more about myself.
Everything's edible. This is all real gingerbread and all real icing. I didn't use any glue here at all.
This is my very first time ever doing anything like this, and I'm amazed myself.
Let us know what you think about the stories you've seen here on 1036. Call us at 414-797-3760. And remember, you can always check us out at MilwaukeePBS.org and on Facebook. Now for an important announcement. 1036 is moving to an earlier time, 7:30 p.m. right here on Channel 10 Milwaukee PBS, starting next month on January 17th. That's 1036 at 7:30 p.m. on January 17th. Please join us right after Around the Corner with John McGivern. That'll do it for this edition of 1036. From all of us here at the show and at Milwaukee PBS, happy holidays to all of you. We'll leave you with the sounds of the St. John's Northwestern Military Academy Choir singing Silent Night.